Good evening, or afternoon, or morning, depending on where you are in the world. Hey Marco, nice ride today. Yeah, I hope so, Samuel. I have been feeling pretty good, so I am cautiously optimistic, I would say. Yeah, that's pretty nice, Marco. So, I think for you next week, obviously we have Tuesday ZRL, and after that, a few easier days, and then hopefully Saturday you can smash a new 20-minute power. I'm also pretty curious to do a 20-minute test myself, but I will do Opti Swift full gas tomorrow, and also Thursday probably fasted. And Tuesday after that I'm doing ZRL myself, the Richmond course. So maybe like a week after that, in a few weeks, hopefully. We'll see. So as you can see, I am in workout mode, or rather in FTP test mode. This is a trick I stole from Zach, because it's kind of nice that when you are doing like the FTP test by Zwift, it gives you an average for the interval. So I am not doing a 20-minute test. I am doing a 3-minute test and a 12-minute test. But by starting my interval when the FTP test starts, it gives the average power I'm doing for that lap. So that's kind of cool for you guys to see what average I'm doing, and also for myself. I think it might be useful. Yeah, evening David. Yeah, Richmond, it's going to be incredibly hard, but because I've been feeling quite good lately, I'm kind of looking forward to it. We'll see. It's quite anaerobic, which isn't really my thing, but I guess the last few laps are more aerobic because people are really tired. I'm just going to try to time it such that I'm doing the reverse KOM. Yeah, I'm good, David. Had a nice day. Nice easy spin this morning. And watched Liège for most of the rest of the day. First girls and the men afterwards. As usual, the girls race is probably more fun than the boys race, but I think cool and deserving winners in both. Though you could say that Anna van der Breggen was probably the strongest rider in the race. Hey, evening Phil. So, hopefully I have timed this about right with the reverse KOM. And let's send it. 3-minute effort first. Last time I did 4:18, I believe. And in my opinion, those shorter tests, like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes even, you're probably best off just going almost overpacing it a bit. Because if you do like a negative split kind of pacing, there's a bit of a risk of basically not being able to empty the tank. Yeah, Marco, I think the reason is the men, the entire field is so strong that it's really hard to tear the peloton apart. And because the peloton stays together, there's much less tactical, interesting possibilities. I think the female peloton ran the risk for a little while that SD Works was getting so strong that there was basically nothing you could do against their sheer number of strong riders. But there's still plenty of other winners, so I think it keeps it interesting. So for this effort, I might just like start off at like 450, which I know is too high, and try to hang on for the last minute basically. Hope the average doesn't come down too much. This might be getting slightly technical, but I don't expect my anaerobic power to have increased. I hope my aerobic power has increased. So that would mean that like the 3-minute and 12-minute power will both change by the same amount. So not the same percentage, but like the absolute same amount of watts. So let's say my 3-minute power went up by 10 watts. Then I would hope my 12-minute power also went up by 10 watts. Okay, this is going to Earth. Always does. Did a 5-minute effort a few days ago and that was good, so. Yeah, I'll try. Thanks, mate. I know I'm not doing this KOM in 3 minutes, by the way, it's just decently similar sized. Here we go. Holy shit. Testing sucks, man. That was painful. Whew. Oh. All right. That was interesting. Let me reload this workout thingy. Might be slightly on the low side. Whew. Okay, let's see how we did. Nice Rob. Yeah, really happy with that. Really happy with that. Yeah, I think the PBs on this laptop are not correct, because this is my dad's laptop, not the machine I usually use. I think like the PBs are local. I think my 3-minute best was 418, sorry, which was the last time I did this, which is, I think it's 5 weeks ago. I did 5 weeks in between the training, so like 5 to 6 weeks ago. Whew. Like a short effort like that, 2 to 3 minutes, you can like feel it on your lungs and your airways. Yeah, that's really good. So it's 18 watts more than last time. Not going to do 18 watts more than my 12-minute last time, but this is a nice indication. So I guess I think I can change over to the spreadsheet. Okay, back. Okay, open it here and open it here. Let's see what we got. So I think you can hear me now. We won't need the webcam for this. Sorry about that. But I think I should be back right now. Okay, that's good. So I was just saying that this spreadsheet, if you send me a message, I will send it to you. You can get it also. Marco also helped with this. Dennis helped with this to get it into Google Spreadsheets. What it does is you enter 2 maximum efforts, and it calculates your anaerobic capacity and FTP, critical power. Not quite the same, but it works. So, where were we? I guess I will have to check what my effort was again, I forgot. Let's see. I know you can't see this graph right now, but that's okay. Ah yeah, 436. Okay, let me get this back. Okay, so it was like 183 seconds. 436. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. What is predicting right now? It's saying anaerobic capacity about 18 and critical power 338. But I think that is because my 5-minute effort I did earlier this week, which I entered here, I probably could have done more than 398 because it was a slightly longer effort and it was like a really technical climb with some hairpins which you couldn't pedal through. But at least you get a grasp for how the spreadsheet is working out. Not sure why it's only showing one data point and not both. But it is working because this is based on this graph and this one is working. So, yeah, for right now, I'm just going to pedal easy for quite a long while. I want like 40 minutes of recovery in between the efforts. So, I guess, we're back. I guess if anyone has like questions or just wants to talk about Liège, Bastogne, Liège or something, go ahead. Is that so, Marco? Oh yeah, because 183 obviously it cannot interpolate. It's not in the lookup table. Yeah, when I enter 180, it does work. So I'll keep it at 180 now just to keep things a bit more organized. Yeah, so I think for my 12-minute effort, I might try to aim for 350, but I need some recovery first. Yeah, exactly, Marco. So it does calculate the correct critical power and anaerobic capacity, but because it's not in the table, it doesn't show the thingy in the graph. So maybe I can discuss what I did for like the last 4 weeks. Quite a lot of volume, and I tried to do like one really high quality, either an interval session or race once per week in the evenings, after which I basically fasted till after my next session the next morning. And in these morning fasted sessions I did like zone 3, lower zone 3. it felt to me, which is really subjective and might be like confirmation bias and stuff like that, but it did feel to me like the last week was definitely stronger fast than like the first week. Even in my first testing week, I noticed that my drop off for the fasted ALP compared to the fueled ALP was quite a lot. So I'm very curious how that is going to play out this week. So what I'm doing is tomorrow morning I'm doing ALP fueled. I'll stream it again. So after this session I'm basically going to empty the tank completely after these tests, just to have a fair comparison between tomorrow's ALP and Thursday's ALP. So after this session, empty the tank and then basically just refuel like I would normally do after a session. Plenty of carbs, some protein, you get the idea. And then tomorrow morning I'm going for a PB of the ALP. Rest day on Tuesday, and then on Thursday I'm doing the glycogen depletion protocol, which I'm also doing tonight again. But after that session I will not be having any carbs or anything for that matter, just black coffee. And then on Thursday I will be doing the ALP fasted to be able to compare the times. So that's the basic gist of it. Some major disclaimers are, just because I'm improving right now doesn't necessarily mean that's because of the fasted training. I did do quite a lot of volume, and I always tend to stick to a pretty high percentage of my training being zone 2 stuff primarily. You've probably heard that before. Wow, I can like feel the effort in my throat, in my airways. Hard breathing in the end. Yeah, David, that was pretty hard. I did allow myself a few things during the training sessions, which I will not allow myself for the testing session, because I didn't do it the first testing session. But basically like stuff like Italian ham, Spanish ham, it's like per 100 grams of ham there's 0.1 gram of carbohydrates, loads of protein. So I basically ate like a bunch of that stuff after the sessions, just to not feel terribly hungry, and actually because it's quite good to get in some protein, especially when you're not having the carbohydrates. So that's like a pro tip. Get yourself some Spanish ham, Italian ham, like not cooked ham, but I'm not sure what the English word is for it. So what kind of rides did you guys do today? I know Marco did like 4 hours of endurance pace, which turned out to be like 4 hours of tempo pace, but he's probably gotten a bit stronger, so it might just be that his zones are way off. Must say I'm kind of excited for this experiment to be over. Not because the sessions were so hard, but just because planning wise it was really tough to get in one of those quality sessions followed by a session in the next morning. It's quite restricting, and I'm looking forward to doing some like VO2 stuff. I don't know, haven't really decided what I will be doing after this. Kind of depends on the blocks too, on what my results will be in the test. Yeah, exactly, Marco. Yeah, my weight has stayed exactly the same, which is no real surprise to me because my weight has stayed the same for the past 10 years basically, through major lifestyle changes. Like when I was in university, I did way less sport and way more drinking, and I was still 62 kilos. So this morning I weighed in 61.8. I mean, I'm basically within 1 to 2 kilos always of 62 kilos. Yeah, I guess I'm looking like that, Marco. I mean, before I was cycling this much, I didn't eat a lot. I was pretty small eater compared to most guys my age. Obviously now I eat a lot, but that's also because I burn a lot. And because I know that starving yourself whilst training hard is probably not a great strategy for becoming stronger or for becoming healthier for that matter. Yeah, David, send it over. It's okay. I did so last year, basically exactly 12 months ago, because it was in April then, April, May, I did 4 weeks of VO2 max training, and after that block I saw a lot of gains and I felt much better than I did in the months prior. So I'm not necessarily expecting to see that again, because I've already seen pretty good improvements over the past 4 months. So I would take it obviously, but I'm not expecting to see that again, but might be helpful. Something that's like bugging me a lot is this uncertainty about whether or not events are going to take place. You might know I have signed up for Marmot. I actually have signed up for the Ultra Marmot, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to do the long version or not. But as it's looking right now, I'm not expecting it to take place. So I might just have to decide a fun challenge on my own. For the longest day of the year, so like the day with the earliest sunset and the earliest sunrise and the latest sunset, I'm probably going to be doing a really long ride again. Did like last week. Not really certain on the plans yet. But that's more like really easy pace. And it's also nice to have a challenge that's a bit more racing-like. Yeah, Samuel, I am actually writing most of this up. I think I might have a website linked in the description. Let me see if I put it in there. Yeah, I do write about it. I haven't written for a little while because basically I was in the middle of this experiment and I'm not sure how useful it would be to write about 1 week of training. At least not in the learning sense. Might be just fun to read, I guess. But yeah, I'm still contemplating what I'm. Hey Mick, I'm still trying to think of something that would be fun as an alternative challenge to Marmot. Obviously, there's things like Everesting, or even like the 10,000 meters climb challenge. But if I'm doing that, I probably would like to do it in a nice location. I mean, around my living place it's not going to happen anyways, but I do have a really cool route in the Italian Alps that's 10,000 meters of climbing, which I would like to do, but maybe we'll see. No, Mick, I'm just relaxing right now. I'm going over the reverse KOM now. I guess I should navigate to the epic KOM. I did that last time. Not that I'm making it on the epic KOM in 12 minutes, but somewhere up. He wants to close the door, but I'm liking the airflow. Should pause this. Yeah, so Samuel, I will write on the blog again after this week, probably next weekend. Though I have a friend's weekend, so I'm not sure about that. Maybe next Thursday evening even, when I know the results. We were talking in Discord about like doing a training camp or something like that this summer. So maybe that would be a nice moment to do some fun challenge too, if there's not going to be Marmot. But I also still have some unticked challenges. So like Swift related stuff, I still haven't done 300 for 60 minutes. I've done 299 and 298 on separate occasions, but not 300. And if I am able to do 300, then 5 watts per kilo is 310, so that's like right around the corner. So would be fun to try 310 for 60 minutes. And I think if I am able to do 310 for 60 minutes, I can probably also do Ventop in 60 minutes, because I did like an hour and 2 minutes or something the last time I did it. So those are like some nice packed together challenges that would be fun. Yeah, I did 398 for 5 minutes, so 400 for 5 is also like an obvious one. Like power-based challenges. Yeah, maybe. I'm pretty sure I could do 300 for 60 and 400 for 5 around now. But with ZRL, we'll have some different stuff going on right now. Yeah, maybe Mick. Yeah, we should. Definitely, David. I guess there hasn't been much big races on Ventop. There's been some really hyped up stuff on the Alp, obviously, but it's kind of fun to do a race with a lot of participants, so there's also like a lot of people around the same level. We'll see what Swift comes up with. Yeah, that's a nice idea, Tommy. I mean, in backpedal there's like a lot of guys around the 5 watts per kilo mark. And for Ed, that would just be like a tempo session, so pretty doable. Not much, I think, Arend. When did you leave? If you left after the 3-minute effort, you haven't really missed anything. I'm just trying to recover as much as I can. I have done the real Vontu a few times. Did it last summer. I did, I think, just below 1 hour and 15 minutes. I think 1 hour and 13 minutes. But it's a bit longer segment, I think. And the real world is just slower than Zwift is. Phil did some stuff on that. It's been a really long time since I did Alpe d'Huez, like the real one. So kind of curious to see what time I could do at that as well. I mean, the thing about Von 2 is it's really nice, but there's not really many very interesting climbs directly close to it. Yeah, we should make, but I think there's a lot of clubs that want events going on. Yeah, I know, Marco. I know. I'm so excited to see what time you are going to do. Ha! Yeah, Craig is like insane power. I was talking to him on Discord and I was saying like how strong he was. And he was saying, yeah, well, I'm 100 kilos, so it's easy. Was like doing over 4 watts per kilo as a big guy. That's not easy, that's pretty spectacular. Was it a 12-minute effort? Okay. That's ridiculous, by the way. 12 minutes. 490. Yeah, Marco, I think that Alpe du Zwift, 60 minutes, you can definitely do that this year. Obviously, the real Alpe, it's kind of hard to say. It's a bit slower, out like the real world, but you might also be able to get more power out, so could be kind of a wash. $490 for 12. Holy moly. He could do well in time trials. Needs to find a decently aerodynamic position and he can smoke everyone. "12 minutes 4.9. Yeah, that's pretty strong. Yeah. I think with that power you can even do well on the small climbs in the Ardennes. If they're not too steep. 12 minutes, 4.9 watts per kilo for the 90 watts. I hope Demi Vollering won today. And she, you should check her out on Strava. She usually uploads all her power files as well, so you can see what she does. So I'm hoping she uploads it again today. Yeah, David, it's like that would probably even work almost. Pretty easy de-essing too, if there's just like one guy hammering at the front. You just have to call out the gradients, that's it. Voila! Must say, not really looking forward to this 12-minute effort. Might be because of how much the 3-minute effort hurt. Yeah, we can do that to the bot. So where in Watopia am I? Am I anywhere near the Epic KOM? Am I heading in the right direction? Yeah, I know. Ah, I see. You can see the radio tower behind the workout thingy. I'm not starting in 35 seconds, by the way. I'm just letting the timer count down a bit more so it's easier to gauge where to start. Oh. I think there's also a back pedal premiere going on. Might be in 45 minutes, 8:30. Not sure about that, but I thought it was nice timing. I'm not streaming the glycogen reduction stuff after this because I'm doing that later this week. Is it the forward or the reverse? Wait, pause. How do I do this? This is the reverse. Seriously. Not that it really matters, but I want a bit more recovery. Sorry guys. Yeah, bypass, that's a nice idea. Let's do that. So go over this, bypass, go down, start the segment. Good plan. Yeah, like LP Swift is 3.2 for 60 minutes. Real ELP might be more like, I don't know, 3.4 or something. Oh, I got a jersey. Yes. I mean, the thing is, I could do all sorts of stuff just to hit the segment, but I'm only going to do a 12-minute effort, so I'm not going to finish the segment in that time anyways. No, but you're getting there, Marco. So in the past 2 months, is it 2 months? Yeah, I think in the past 2 months, you went from 79 to 69 minutes. So, like the next 10 minutes is going to be harder, obviously. So, probably not within 2 months, but within this year, pretty confident about that right now. Yeah, the slightly complicating factor in that is that if you become stronger, the effort also becomes a bit shorter, so it almost works 2 ways. So for you, it's like going, it's almost like low sweet spot is the correct pacing for the ELP, and for like a guy like Ed, it's probably way over threshold. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean on it. Then this is steep. Guess it doesn't hurt to do a little bit of zone 2. Get slightly warmed up again. So this is a good time to think about my pacing for the effort. Honestly, I don't think pacing really matters as much as people think. I think the only thing that I could do really wrong with this one is start too low and not be able to get everything out in the end. I mean, it would be a pretty bad idea to way overpace this, but I think even if you did like a 10-minute max effort and then the last 2 minutes were just dying around threshold, I think you get basically the same result as doing like really steady pacing. Reverse KOM. Must be. I did a 3-minute max effort, and I think I did the entire KOM in like 4 minutes. But the last part is like really flat, almost going down, so probably won't have lost insane amounts of time on that last minute. So I'm not sure how it works, but maybe like the guy that was faster than me logged out, so he handed it down to me or something like that. You probably know how that works better than I do. Yeah, you guys are all like insanely high level. I'm 32, not even have the disc wheel yet. I did get the Tron really quickly, but that's just because I did a lot of climbing courses because I wanted Tron. Well, Arend, I would argue otherwise. If you have seen me descending in races, I could use a bit more aero. Yeah, exactly. I used to race Lucher on Innsbruck a lot, because if you race Lucher multiple laps, it's just like a really good interval session basically, with the added motivation of a race. 2x20 at FTP, 3x20, sweet spot, stuff like that. Yeah, I haven't even finished the last stage. I did stage 5 once to get in my fasted session last week, but I didn't finish the entire course because I only had 60 minutes, and 60 minutes of zone 3 didn't get me to the finish. Is it, David? Thumbnail for what? Oh, wow. Okay, I see what you mean. I am looking forward to seeing that one. Have you guys heard from Phil recently? How is he? He's still on the roster for Tuesday, but he's still alive. Okay, that's good. That's a prerequisite. Why is it not letting me go to the left? Go there. Yeah, it's tough, right? Because I think Phil is like really loyal and he doesn't want to let us down. So I'm always kind of scared that that is what is keeping him from saying that he doesn't want to do the race or something like that, which would be a shame. Yeah, he's been busy with work. I've heard that. But he did do the really long race this weekend, right? I didn't watch because I was occupied. But I guess I don't know how it went, but if he signed up for a 3-hour race, he's probably okay. This 2 seconds remaining in the workout interval is kind of getting on my nerves. Are you talking about Phil or about yourself now, David? Okay. This is a pretty scenic course. Not even sure if I've been here before. Bypass. There's like one race course that goes over this, right? With this steep climb. Could be like Watopia's version of Libby Hill. I think I'm just going to start off the effort around the power I did last time, which was 343, and hopefully have something in the tank for the last few minutes to ramp it up. Yeah, David, that is interesting. And the World Championships is in Belgium this year, right? So that could also be fun. Some more terrain for the steamroller power, perhaps. I haven't really looked into the course for the Olympics at all, to be honest. Is there like a local loop? I think the thing about World Championship courses is they're usually like a pretty short local loop, which makes it possible to model it in Swift. They probably do the same with Olympics though. I mean, Mount Fuji on Zwift would be fun. I'm not sure about the statistics about it. I think from like a scenery perspective, they can probably do a bit better than they did with Ventop. I think it might see not as much traffic because it's kind of monotonous. Yeah, Mick, like what I would like the most for a Zwift course is something that would be better at like practicing the Gran Fondo stuff with multiple really long climbs. I mean, if you could do like Van Top and Alpe d'Huez Zwift in one course, something like that. It's kind of weird in a way that they have like this exact replica of Alpe d'Huez, and they have a French world, but the replica of Alpe d'Huez isn't in the French world. Yeah, like just a Marmot loop. Would be a pretty big loop, but would add some fun long climbs. I think all they need to do is add like a second way to descend Van Top, or a second way to descend Alpe d'Huez, so you can do more stuff with loops. Would make a bit more sense. Yeah, the Marmot pretzel. Because there's like a Uber pretzel, obviously a really hard course, but it's kind of flat really. I mean, it's epic at the beginning and then Alpe d'Huez Zwift at the end, but in between it's relatively flat compared to like the big climbs. Which is probably the reason that I don't do the Uber pretzel. I did ride it once, but it was kind of on a whim, and I didn't have any food, right food at my place. So I didn't finish it because I ran through food before I could start Alpe d'Huez Zwift. I did do the full PRL London. I think PRL is like, it's actually a really fun course. Slightly monotonous, but it's kind of nice, like going hard for, I don't know, how long is Box Hill? And then getting some recovery and then doing a bunch of intervals on that. And I think in the end, might be like a better workout than Uber pretzel. 6 to 8 minutes, yeah. If you're doing PRL, you're doing it like slightly below threshold, I think. I did. Can't quite remember. Yeah, escalator is pretty hard. Also, typically for me, I drop myself on the descent out of a nice group. Might have cost me a bit of time, but that also meant that I was in a slightly slower group, which also meant that I did really good pacing and I still felt strong at the end. I think loads of people doing the full PRL are probably broken 2 laps before the end, and then the last few laps of Box Hill are really tough. I was actually planning on doing the Schlek Gran Fondo, which was planned for the end of May. Would have been my first race, but that got cancelled. But I did PRL because it was basically same distance and same amount of climbing as the Schlek Gran Fondo would have been. So I thought it was nice practice, but then, like everything, it ended up being cancelled. But if you guys are doing PRL, I'm up for joining. Not in the next week, but someday. I guess I should probably stop procrastinating and get into this effort, huh? So, throw your guesses in chat. What's it going to be? Okay guys, I reckon I'll see you on the other side, if I survive, hopefully. Plus 18, what's that, 360, yeah, probably not going to happen. Okay, see you guys. Josh, I wish. Yeah. The noises at the end were 100% necessary. Not voluntary. Woo! Yeah, I'm happy with that. Gotta be happy with that. Let's just fix this. Put it at 315 for now. Yeah, basically. So, you can see the 3-minute effort here, 12-minute effort here. Already interesting that I notice my 12-minute effort got a higher max heart rate than my 3-minute effort. I also noticed during the effort that, look at my heart rate, even at this point, it's still pretty low, 174. I think I've done 174 for 40 minutes or something, heart rate. So, must be a little bit of fatigue already, which lines up with my recent training, so that's not entirely surprising. Yeah, guess that's what happens with your graph. So this was earlier. Yeah, something like that. Can I get it? I cannot. Whatever. I don't know, Arend. I really don't know. Not really have had any difficulties with my graph. I'll make a screenshot later. Okay, let's get over to the spreadsheet. Spreadsheet time. Let's hope I didn't mess this up again. So, I guess I did 353. So, for those that weren't around earlier, this was my effort, my 3-minute effort. This was my 12-minute effort. From that I can create this graph. So I guess what I'm noticing now is that it's reversed. It should say 1 over time at the bottom and power at the left. I'll fix that later. But basically on the x-axis it's 1 divided by time, 1 over time, which is this number. On the y-axis is the power that I did. And if you convert this 1 over time graph to a graph where time is just like linearly put out, you get these 2 points. And this straight line actually becomes this nice curve and whatever the curve bottoms out at is a pretty good estimation at critical power, which is more or less the same as FTP. So, if this was correct, I would be really, really happy. 325 at 62 kilos. And this is anaerobic capacity, about 20 kilojoules. That has gone up a little bit, but I think my 3-minute effort this time was probably of a bit higher quality than last time. Because last time I did much more power than I expected. So I probably didn't go hard enough at the start. And this time I knew a bit better what to expect. So I could go like really hard straight from the gun. I think both efforts were paced really nicely. Don't think there was much more in the tank. You always have that feeling, oh maybe I could have done like 1 or 2 watts more, but I'm really happy. I think right now for this stream that is it. I still have to do some really terrible intervals after this, but I'm not going to stream those because I will stream them later this week, so I won't have the same content twice. No, exactly, Marco, it doesn't really matter. If you're in the ballpark, that's good enough. And I'm just happy with how the efforts went in general. Tomorrow morning, I'm doing the ALP. Based on my 12-minute effort, I should be able to do a PB. I did 39 minutes, 39 seconds last time, so hopefully I can do a little bit better than that. But right now I'm already happy with the results. So. Thanks, David. I really enjoyed the chat. Made the time fly a bit faster. 40 minutes waiting between efforts is obviously a little bit boring, but yeah, Marco, you will probably keep that because you haven't even really trained it. I think if you were to actually do some training on your anaerobic capacity, it would be even bigger, but that's not really the focus right now. Yeah, ALP is probably going to be somewhere like 9 AM time over here. So for the Brits, that's 8 AM I guess. We'll see. Yeah, maybe next year, Marco. Okay, have a nice evening everyone.